Hi, everybody. um, I am going to put a link. I have a blog that was posted on Tuesday, and I want to make sure that you have a link to that blog. It's a good blog. It talks about the moon phases, and y'all know how much we love the moon up in here. We love the moon. And we just had like the most powerful new moon of the year. It's Chinese New Year of the Tiger. Okay, that was Tuesday. It's the new moon in Aquarius. It's the new year, y'all. And it's the year of the tiger. So today we're going to be talking about how you can run your business using the moon. Um, it's just really a powerful way for you to go with the flow of the universe. The moon is obviously our closest celestial body, and her influence is really, really strong. She's affecting the tides, y'all. She's affecting the tides of the ocean. She's affecting the tides of our emotions, okay? So what I want to talk about today is, so the way the moon works is basically she goes through a phase over 28, 29 days. She goes a full cycle. And she's transiting through all the different uh, constellations, okay? And as she moves through the different constellations in her different phases, we here on Earth are experiencing a subtle shift in our vibration, in our thinking, in our feelings, in our intuition, in our emotions, okay, in our energy. We're having these subtle changes. So sometimes, when you wake up one day and you feel great, and then 2 days later, you're like, what happened to my great high? Partially, it's because of the moon shifting, and we are feeling that down here. This is some powerful medicine, okay? Now, if you want to join me live and talk about this with me during this session, you're more than welcome to come and hop on Zoom. Or just if you're watching the replay, I'd love it if you would just hit hashtag replay saying, hi, I watched the replay. If you're on live, you can also, if you're watching on Facebook, I should be checking the messages just in case you're giving me any feedback. I should be doing that, okay? But so my point is, the moon is really, really, really important for us because our intuition, our divine feminine nature is really connected to the moon. And I think it's really important to be able to, oh my God, Erin is on. Erin, hi, Erin. Okay, look, Erin, I haven't seen you in so long. Oh my God, where are you? Hi,
How are you?
I'm
It is
good. It's so good to see you.
you too.
Oh my gosh, it's been years.
It has been a really long time.
Oh my gosh, Erin, it's wonderful to see you. I'm so glad that you popped on. Thank you.
I just got your email, so I was like, let me check in and see what's going on.
Good. Well, I'm glad that you're here. So we are going to be talking about moon phases. Have you been following the moon?
Yep, not so much.
Okay. Look, that's why I'm talking about this. Okay. That's why I'm talking about this today. So I'm going to talk about these moon phases for like 15 minutes, and then we'll open it up and do like a Q&A. Okay. So if you have some questions and you can hang on the call for a while, then, we'll do it that way. Okay, Erin? All right. Very good. I'm going to set this up here. Hold on a second. Whoa. Let me do it this way. Boom. Uh-oh. Hold on. Boom. Okay. I think Now I got it. I'm having some Mercury retrograde issues. Okay. Mercury goes direct either today or tomorrow. But let me tell you, Mercury retrograde, when Mercury goes away, I weep because my life, my brain falls apart. I can't show up to appointments on time. I get things confused. My technology goes completely haywire. So there are some issues, but anyway, Mercury is back. Thank you, Mercury, for coming home. And of course, there's the shadow period. I know I must sound really crazy to someone who doesn't understand the woo. I must sound really crazy right now, but I don't care because if you're watching this, you probably do understand the woo and you get exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying, and I love that. So today we're going to be talking about the moon phases. Now, I wrote an article, a blog. It's on my blog, and I put a link in the comments section on Facebook, and you can read that if you want to and download it, right? Also, the workbook for February, the energy workbook for February has a copy of the blog inside. It also has some really good questions for you to kind of contemplate as the month is going on. That is, the energy workbook is meant to help you thrive in your energy as the week or as the month progresses so that you are feeling successful. So let's talk about these moon phases, okay? Now, yesterday, as I was saying earlier, it was the new moon in Aquarius. I mean, I said it's Chinese New Year. So Chinese New Year is usually like the first or second new moon of the in the new year for us, okay? And I'm so sorry if I'm not mistaken. I do believe our calendar is called the Gregorian. Oh my God, I have two Aarons on the call today. Oh my God, that is so cute. And both of them are adorbs. Oh my God. I had to do a double take. I'm like, wait, did Aaron get logged off? No, Aaron Silva's calling in to join us. So Aaron, you didn't get, there she is. Aaron, she didn't connect to audio. You didn't connect to audio. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, I know you gotta connect to audio. Ah, okay, she's doing her headphones. Anyway, so let me get on track here. I'm excited because I have the two Aarons with me. This is so cool. So yesterday, no, it wasn't yesterday, it was Tuesday, okay? Tuesday was the 1st of February, and that was the new moon in Aquarius, all right? The new moon in Aquarius is a time when it's really, really important. So here we go. The new moon is a time when you should be creating. It's when you want to put things out there. It's the starting point for your ideas. It's the starting point for the things you want to manifest, okay? Now, when the moon is in Aquarius, we know is about knowledge, and we know it's about being the great humanitarian. But what we kind of forget is that Aquarius rules the 11th house. So Aquarius is about optimism, looking to the future, having big dreams, big hopes, and big wishes. So another really important thing that we should all be doing right now is thinking about what you really want to manifest for yourself on a personal level. Okay, and I'm saying that because this is your hopes and your wishes, and you matter. What you want for yourself matters, right? So you need to think about your big dreams, your big hopes, your big wishes. That is a part of your new moon work. But because the Aquarius energy is also about the world, right? And about humanity. Aquarians love humanities. Aquarian loves humankind, and Aquarius loves the earth. So this is a great time to also be thinking about what you want to manifest for your community and for the world at large. So this is a great time to be praying. It's a great time, even if you don't like, maybe you're bogged down with work and home and school, and you don't have a lot of energy to be putting into healing the world, okay? You can pray for the world. You can send out some love charges to the world, some blessings to the world. If you do a moon ritual, you can pray for the world when you get up in the morning. You can do, include the world in your meditations, right? So the power of the new moon is that it's an open door. It's a portal into what you want to create in the future. Now, our lives are not just about putting something out there and then sitting back and doing nothing, right? We need to participate in the manifestation of our desires. So the next phase of the moon is as the moon grows. So the moon, the new moon is going to be in Aquarius for 2 or 3 days, about 2 days. So the moon is already moving away from the Aquarius energy. But what we want to understand is that during this phase, the next 2 weeks, even though she's not in Aquarius, whatever you activate on the first of the month is what is going to be carried through, not just for the next 2 weeks until the moon goes full, but for the next year. So what you initiated on the 1st of February, and with every new moon, okay, there's one new moon every month and one full moon every month, okay? What you initiate on that first day of the new moon is what you're saying to the universe. I want to create more of this for the next year. Okay, so that's why new moons are so powerful. And what the moon is going to do is she's gonna wax and wane and wax and wane. Wax means she gets bigger, wane means she gets smaller. So when she's new, she's nothing, like you don't see her at all. But then she waxes, she gets bigger, and then she becomes full. It takes 2 weeks for her to get full. And then once she's going to be full for a few days, and then she's going to start to get smaller, and you're going to see her get smaller and smaller and smaller. So she's waning again. So 28 days later, she's small again. So she's day 1, she's tiny. Then she grows over 2 weeks. Then that 2 weeks, she starts to shrink. That's 28 days. So that's a full moon phase. So first day of the new moon, when the moon is empty, you can't really see her. That is when you're doing things, you're initiating, you're making new beginnings, okay? You're saying to the universe what you want to create. Then the moon is going to start getting bigger. She's waxing. So over these next 3 to 7, over the next 3 to 6 or 7 days, you want to be setting intentions as she's getting bigger. She's slowly getting bigger, and you want to be filling up this new moon with your intentions. So every morning I get up and I write down what I intend to do for the day. And when you want to manifest something very specific, let's say that you want to manifest a better job, or you want to manifest, if you're a heart-centered entrepreneur, you want to manifest a certain outcome for one of your programs, okay? So you think, okay, over the next year, I want to build this program, and then I want to launch it, and I want to launch it with the website, and I want to enroll X number of people in that program. Let's say that that is your big goal, okay? Day 1, okay, new moon here, okay? The moon is going to go through all those phases, but it's most important that over these next 6 days, you set your intentions about what you're going to be doing to make your program come alive. So who do you need to talk to? Who do you need to hire? How much money do you need? What's your advertising plan going to be? All the things. What's your social marketing campaign going to be? How much content are you going to need to create? Who's going to help you do the launch? Who's going to be your assistant? distance, all of these things matter. You've got to start writing all that stuff down and making the plans. And it's really important that if you're going to be working with the moon phases, you use that first week of the waxing, the growing crescent moon to actually set your intentions, right? Now, at the end of the first week, she's a quarter new, right? So now is when you're going to start you're going to be making lots of decisions, okay, along the way, but you're going to maybe notice that when you're thinking about this thing you want to manifest, you're going to hit some roadblocks, okay? Now, those roadblocks are there to show you early on. This is your first set of roadblocks. It is there to show you early on what it is that you're going to have to deal with as you are creating your project. Now, it is important that you don't back down when you feel these challenges. It's important that you understand that these challenges are there to show you who they are, so that when you have to deal with them in a very real way, you are prepared. You make a backup plan. So, for example, if you know that maybe you don't have enough money to hire someone that you need, okay, the universe is going to say, hey, you don't have enough money to do that. So what are you going to do? Collapse? Well, I can't do it. No, of course you're not going to do that. What you're going to do is say, well, I need to raise funds, or I need to figure out a way to raise some capital. I maybe needed to get another job. Maybe I need to take out a loan. Maybe I need to see if I can get a grant. Okay, this is the benefit of using the new moon, because the new moon cycle takes about a year. That gives you plenty of time to figure out what it is you need to do and to make arrangements. But again, the first week is the most important. The second week is when you're starting to move into a different thing. Okay, and let me talk to you about that. So now, you've dealt with the challenges, and you deal with the challenges by working on a plan, right? A plan of attack. In my book, okay, I'm a badass butterfly. We don't back down from any challenges. We go toward the thing that we fear with our eyes wide open. Okay, we might put on some glasses so we don't get shit in our eyes, all right? But we're going to go in there like, okay, show me what needs to be done, all right? Now, as the moon is getting full, okay, because keep in mind, we started off tiny, she's getting bigger, she's waxing, getting bigger. You need to then adjust, okay? You have to keep your energy going through these moon phases so that you can make the most out of what you started on the first day. So for these first 2 weeks, you have to stay focused on that thing that you are creating, and you have to look at the challenges, and then you need to make the adjustments, because the moon, when you're working with her, she brings up a lot of emotions, a lot of fear, anxiety, doubt. Things come up, okay? Especially as she comes into the full moon, which we're going to talk about in a second. But that waxing gibbous moon is the one that actually is where you can kind of adjust. During this phase, you need to be stepping back, giving yourself your pep talk, okay? You need to encourage yourself. You need to be rational, okay? Because you're starting to lose it a little bit. So you need to be very rational. You've just come out and looked at all these challenges, okay? You've made all these decisions, and that alone can scare you. What you need to do now is just make some adjustments, understand how things need to go. Okay, you may not get that done in 3 months, you might need 6 months, but that's why you're figuring these things out ahead of time, okay? Now, I've noticed that I have this written down wrong on my website, so I'm sorry. This is a waxing gibbous moon, not a waxing Gibbons moon, okay? We're not dealing with Debbie Gibbons here, all right? All right, boom. The next phase is everybody's favorite. It's the full moon, okay? Now, the full moon is when the moon is most beautiful. She is just full in all her glory. You can see the craters and she's lit, okay? Now, the moon at this time, when she comes full, because she's gone all the way to the other side of the zodiac, right? She started off in Aquarius. By the time she goes full, she's no longer in Aquarius. She's in the sign opposite the new moon. Now, so she's full, right? So now she'll be in Leo. So when from this video, it'll be 2 weeks and it'll be the full moon in Leo. All right. Now, this full moon in Leo is going to be about oh God, I just said that totally wrong. I just did that totally wrong. Ignore what I just said, okay? Because I'm telling you about something that's going to happen in 6 months, and that is my bad. I just got carried away. The next moon that we're going to have is actually going to be oh wait, hold on. Sorry. No, yes, I'm sorry. I was right. Oh my God. Okay, I told you Mercury retrograde is messing with my mind. We have a full moon in Leo, okay, coming up in 2 weeks. Thank you very much, okay? So the full moon in Leo, so the moon was in Aquarius, now it's going to be in Leo. It was new in Aquarius, it's full in Leo in the opposite, okay? Now, what does this have to do with your business? Because you started this over here in Aquarius, you started this new business venture. Well, when the moon gets full, what it's showing you is the shadow that you hold around the thing that you want to create. So let's say, for example, this is, and I'm going to tell y'all how I am, all right? I'm an Aquarius and I'm all about humanity, okay? Totally about humanity. I care about you. I care about the world. I'm an Aquarius. Peace and love, okay? Well, the opposite of Aquarius is Leo. Leo is a fire sign. It is ruled by a lion. It is prestige. It is pride. It is very much about having a strong sense of self. And this is not to say that Leos are selfish. Not at all. Leos are very generous, very caring. We all know Leos, and they are some really good people. But Leos are not like the humanitarians of the zodiac. They're not obsessed with the state of humanity like Aquarius is. Leo is very much like, I'm the center. I like to be the center. Well, and Aquarius is like, I don't like to be the center. And you can see, you'll see this with Aquarians all the time. I don't need to be the center. I need to be behind the scenes. Well, the shadow of Aquarius is you lion. Your ass want to be the center. You know you want to be the center. You know you want acknowledgement. You don't want to be behind the scenes. You want to be seen. All right. So when the moon comes full in Leo, you might find that you are challenged around this thing that you want to create. Okay. So when the moon gets full in the opposite sign, what she's doing is saying, hey, let me challenge you at a really, really deep subconscious level and emotional level. So the moon is about your subconscious mind and your emotions. These are things that you are probably not aware of, but and these are things that you probably keep really well under control. But when the moon comes, you are like, okay, I'm feeling triggered around this thing. You lose control of it because the moon is trying to wake you up so that you can heal or you can integrate or whatever it is you need to do. So that's how the full moon works. Okay. Now, so when your moon starts to, after it's been full, it's now going to start to shrink. Okay. So what's happening during this time is all that emotion that the moon conjured up is starting to drain, right? And there's a lot of healing that goes through. There's a lot of healing that wants to go through. Whether you will do it or not, that's up to you. But the moon is inviting you and she's helping you. It's usually very painful. So a lot of people bypass this, this step. But, if you work with it, it's really powerful for you. So this is a time when you really want to nurture yourself. And because you're looking, it's no longer about your business. It's more about how you are behaving with your business and how you are behaving toward your goals, your mindset. Okay, that's what we're dealing with. And so this is a really good time for you to be working on loving yourself, practicing gratitude, and acknowledging and forgiving. This is a really big time for forgiveness. Okay, now that's the waning. That's when your moon is starting to get smaller again. We're starting to head back toward the new moon phase. The last quarter moon, right, is a time of letting go. When you've gone through this healing process, you've done a lot of work around your goal, and you've basically done the internal work to own that goal. You've spent about 3 weeks working with this goal. Now you need to let it go. It doesn't mean you don't work on it. You still will do your work, but the intensity can start to release. And now you can start giving this over to the universe. You can start letting go and letting God, right? You start surrendering, and you're going to really want to start using your intuition. So you're not so masculine, like, oh, I'm going to make this happen, but more about, okay, we got to let this happen. I said, I want these things for this week. I'm going to let those come. Okay. Now, when the moon is in its waning crescent, which is really the last phase before the new moon, this is a great time for you to rest. So don't be surprised if at the end of this month, you are exhausted. Don't be surprised if you're just knackered, right? You can see all the work you just did. That was a lot. Okay. And then that it culminated with that full moon healing and all that stuff. And now here you are, it's time to rest. And then after that rest, you're going to have the next new moon and the next sign. For us, it's going to be Pisces, new moon in Pisces. You can start another project or just go and give thanks and take care of yourself, however you want to do it. All right, boom. That is all I have to say about the moon phases. Erin, are you still with me? I lost one of my Erins.
Oh, yes, I am still here. Thank you for going through all of that.
That was a lot, right? I know.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
But I do find that it's no coincidence that I just so happened to check my email to see that you were going to be on, to log in and to hear about all of this. As my phone battery is dying. Oh no. Okay, no, we're
Mercury
good.
Retrograde.
I know, darn it. But I'm actually in the process of starting my own business, which is why you see me arranging really quick, because I just got an order.
Oh my gosh. So are you arranging flowers?
Yeah, so how do I turn this thing around? Here we go. So here's like my new little business. It's a mess, but
it looks great.
I lost you. Where did you go? Okay.
Wait, so Erin, that's wonderful. Congratulations. So is this in your home, or do you have a store?
No. So like a year ago, unfortunately, we had a fire in our back house. So they are rebuilding now. And so I'm using this space to start my business and then move on, to bigger things later. But
great. Yes. Fantastic. Wonderful. Working with flowers. What a wonderful energy.
Yes, it has been awesome. It started back in, the end of October. I had the idea, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it because it's what I've always wanted to do. And I'm in a transition phase of losing my job. So I am creating my own.
That is wonderful. I mean, I'm sorry to hear about your job, but I think this flower, I mean, working for yourself, I think is number one, super awesome, but also
So
working with flowers is amazing.
right? Yes, yes. So that's what I'm up to. So sorry, you see me running around because I am doing my little order for DoorDash.
Right. Okay. Well, look, maybe, oh, that's so sweet. I love it.
um,
Excellent. Well, look, I feel like I should let you go. I don't want to, if your
no,
phone.
but it's interesting to hear about like all the phases and creating and manifesting and where we're at. So where are we at right now?
Well,
Right
we are
now
still in the new moon phase. So, you
okay.
know, even the most simple thing you could do right now, Erin, and still powerful, would be to basically claim a goal that you would like to have manifest within the next year, you know, and you know, even though the moon is moving on, it doesn't mean that it's the end of it. For the next 2 weeks, the work you do is going to be really important for affirming to the universe what you want to manifest for yourself. Yeah.
Yep, new storefront. Here we go.
Exactly. This is perfect. I think
Yeah.
that's exactly what you would want to work for right now. I mean, because that would be something that's close to your heart. Again, the moon is in Aquarius, which is about like your hopes and wishes, you know, and having a really cool storefront, I know would be a dream come true, right?
Yes, I'd be so excited.
Yeah,
So
excellent.
yeah, thank you for sharing all of your wisdom with us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Are you kidding me? And especially to have you on the call. Thank you so much. Look, we need to have a conversation offline, okay? Uh-oh, I lost you. Erin. See, I don't know if that's my phone or hers. Erin, can you hear me? Okay, see, I think that could be my phone because I was doing a session today and the connection is just really bad. Oh,
No, I'm here.
yeah, okay, I see your chat. Um,
Yeah.
but okay, so Erin, if you can hear me, that's great. But your image is breaking up, and your voice is digitized. I can't really understand anything. Oh, that's a good idea. Turn your video off. Are you there? Okay, I think I lost Erin. Wait, Erin, now you're muted. Can you check and unmute yourself? Can you say something? Okay, no, I think I've lost you.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear
Can
you.
you hear my voice? Great. Okay, I don't know what's going on. You sounded like a robot for a second.
Yeah, I know. Look.
But I'm here.
Okay, good. So look, let's connect let's connect. You know, I lost my Facebook account 2 years ago. And so I need to come and find you on Facebook, or you can come and find me, but I'll come and find you right now. Okay. And I'll send you a friend.
I'm more on Instagram than Facebook. I don't know if I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
I have a
All
Facebook.
right. Well, either
Do you
way,
have
though, we
Instagram?
have email. So let's just arrange to talk. Okay.
Okay.
Let's exchange. We'll do something over email and then like get on a call so we
Sounds
can catch up. Because I'm
good.
thinking about your daughter. I just want to know how your daughter's doing, and I want to update. I want to see pictures and all that stuff. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. Let's do it.
Okay. Cool. All right, darling. I'll talk to you later, huh?
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye, sweetheart. Bye. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Actually, I did not check on Facebook to see if I had any. Simone says she can hear. Congratulations, Erin. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Simone. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you all so much for joining me. And I hope that this blah, 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 blah talk about the full moon or using the moon to manifest was fun and helpful for you. All right, I'll be back here again in 2 weeks with another chat. All right, bye for now. Bye, everybody.